Hey everyone, welcome back to One Hot Topic. So today we are diving into something that's been hitting up on Filipino social media, and that's the supposed fashion rivalry between Pia Wurtzbach and Heart Evangelista. So the question is Pia really copying Heart, or are we just reading too much into some shared aesthetics? So let's unpack where this conversation is coming from and what's fueling it and why it's become so emotionally charged in the Filipino online space. And we'll also compare this to other famous duos like Princess Catherine versus Meghan Markle and explore what other countries or how other countries are reacting. Is it the same way that we do in the Philippines? Is this uniquely Filipino? So, yeah, grab your coffee, grab your tea, or whatever fuels your chismis brains, and then let's get into it. So let's start with a quick background on both fashion icons, just for context, okay? Pia Wurtzbach, of course, is Miss Universe 2015. She is also an actress, although I have not really seen any film as of yet. Same thing with Heart Evangelista. I know she's always been an actress since I left the Philippines back in 2002. But again, to be honest and just being fair to both sides, that I have not really seen any movies as well. She was a young kid rising up when I left the Philippines, so I have not really seen any big movies by Heart Evangelista, and I'm not really a movie fan as well. So I watch here and there, but I don't just go to the movies just to watch movies, unless something is really like piquing my attention. Then I will go. Other than that, I will not go. So, anyways, going back to Pia Wurtzbach, she is an advocate. She's now a budding fashion presence at events like the Cannes, Milan Fashion Week. She is a beauty queen leveling up into a global fashion status, right? Now, Heart Evangelista is, of course, a long time darling in the Philippines, right? She is an actress, she is an artist, and I've seen on her Instagram that she is now an actual mainstay at the Paris Fashion Week. It seems like she's working with top tier luxury houses and is often referred to in the Philippines as one of greatest fashion influencer. So it seems like they are both successful in their own lanes, but lately I have seen on my Facebook feeds that social media has been buzzing with claims that Pia is quote unquote copying Heart Evangelista. So, what's that really about? I say the copycat claims didn't just pop out of nowhere, okay? It seems like they started appearing more frequently after Pia began showing up in major fashion events. Correct me if I'm wrong, but it seems like that's how it started. And some fans started pointing out similarities in their looks, like sculpted gowns, the dramatic gloves, the oversized shades. Um, and there came that hashtag too that I saw, and one of Pia's posts, it seems that she said hashtag heart made me do it. And that one, yes, Pia actually used it in one of her posts, and honestly was a pretty classy nod to Heart's influence, don't you think? But again, the internet is just being the internet, and some praised Pia's evolution, and while others jumped straight to imitation accusations. And from there, you guessed it right, it just is getting messier every day. And this is where it gets very interesting. Right? In the Philippines, celebrity fan culture is next level. Okay? It's fiercely loyal. But also, let's be real, it's a little territorial as well. When two high profile women start showing up to the same fashion events in a similar style, or maybe a week later, right? Things can escalate really quick. What starts as cute outfit becomes who wore it first and who did it better and who's copying who. And it goes from style to ownership. It's like a competition. And before long, it gets really emotional, and people start taking sides, people take it personally. And so the big question becomes, why do we love highlighting these rivalries too much? When I was going over it this week, while I was in Vegas, the question in my mind is that, do other countries even obsess over copycats the same way that we do in the Philippines? Like, okay, I get it. Let's take Princess Catherine versus Meghan Markle. I've also done some little videos here and there about who wore it better, but I've never accused anybody copying someone. Like, I've never said Meghan Markle is copying Princess Catherine, or vice versa. Princess Catherine is copying Meghan Markle. I've seen tons of fashion comparisons between them. And again, British media loves side by side breakdown or comparison, and they would always say who wore it better, and that's what I've always tagged my videos as well. They would say Meghan channels Diana, Kate recycles Elizabeth's brooch, right? But the tone there, it's usually really light. Sometimes even admiring, I would say. And the fans don't usually call each other out like, she's stealing her look, or yeah, I've seen some, but not a lot like I've seen in some of Filipino pages. Same with K-pop though. Idols often wear same designer pieces, but instead of calling it copycat, I would say, people would go, oh, let's talk about styling choices. And in the meantime, back home, accusations come really quick, and it becomes less about fashion and more about guarding someone's legacy, it seems. And maybe that's because we've had so few Filipinos break through internationally that when someone does, like Heart, we cling to it and we protect it. And anything similar starts to feel like a threat. And so when all these other Facebook pages and Facebook accounts starts talking about it, it's almost like a digital gasoline being poured into this fire, the algorithm culture. And yeah, I get it. Social media thrives on engagement, and pages and blogs want drama because drama gets the clicks, right? So they post non-stop content, and it's not even subtle anymore. Even if the people involved don't care, the posts are designed to really stir up the pot. They are meant to provoke comparisons, spark debates, and yes, go even viral. And I've seen some posts that are like, okay, this is just kind of like asking for provoking comparisons, right? Provoking people's emotions. And I've seen those ones who are fiercely loyal to Heart Evangelista. I've seen fans get really defensive. I've seen people would comment and say, why does Heart's team keep posting throwbacks? Or why are PS fans so sensitive? Right? And then suddenly it's not even about that fashion anymore. It's about proving a point. It's about winning an argument. It's feeding a narrative. So again, what do we really gain by framing it this way? And this right here is the part that I really care about, because when we turn comparison into rivalry, we create unnecessary drama. And we fuel the division, and honestly, it distracts from the wins that we have. And I usually avoid topics like this, but at some point it just keeps popping up, and someone needs to say it. Someone needs to flip the narrative, and we need to flip that narrative. So instead of calling it copying, what if we call it an inspiration? Or even admiration? Because let's be honest, yes, there are similarities in there. You can't deny it. And guess what? Pia did use, again, what we said, the hashtag heart made me do it. That's not a shade. I think it is more like a shout out. And she acknowledged Heart, so that's good. She's even said, Heart, subtly, right? Not directly saying that Heart inspired her. So maybe it's really not copying. And I think it's very important that we celebrate them both. Pia is a Miss Universe. She is a global voice in advocacy and beauty. Heart is an artist and a fashion icon who's been representing the Filipino style or representing Filipinos on the world stage. So they're both making waves in different ways, sometimes crossing over each other. But that's basically what it is. That's the beauty of it. So when we say Team Pia or Team Heart, I feel like that's really unnecessary. We should not be taking sides when there's all this big room for all kinds of brilliance just between the two of them. So when we go back to all this narrative, who is really benefiting from this narrative? Because I don't think it's Pia, right? I don't think it's Heart either. Is it maybe the social pages or the blogs and the gossip accounts that are making money off, if they are making money off the clicks, the shares, the attention that they're getting? Because a lot of times these rivalries, I feel like they are more manufactured and they are exaggerated. And truly, they do make great content. But that doesn't mean we have to play into it. Don't you think? So, guys, is Pia copying Heart? Again, are we just watching two powerful, stylish Filipinas who are both rising in global fashion? Right? Yeah, they're bound to cross paths in some ways or another at some point in time. Because we know fashion overlaps. It does. It gets recycled. The looks get recycled. The trends get repeated. It happens everywhere. I would say from Hollywood to K-pop to royalty. But when it turns toxic, I feel like that's our cue to hit pause on it. Because at the end of the day, fashion should inspire and not divide. And if you're a fashion designer, wouldn't you be proud to see either Pia or Heart wearing your pieces? That would be a global win, don't you think? There is more than enough room on the runway for both of them. And for all the other Filipinas coming in, deciding to wear the same fashion. I feel like it should be good for us and for everybody to leave that toxicity behind and refocus on what really matters, and that's representation, that's creativity, and the success of these Filipino women on the global stage. So anyways, this is a quick video, guys, just to jumpstart the week. And before I sign off, I want to hear from you. Do you think Pia is truly copying Heart, or are we just seeing the power of shared inspiration? Drop your thoughts in the comments below and just keep it very respectful. We're here to talk, not to tear down people. And thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed this, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell. In the next video, we'll check in on the latest from the pageant world. Till then, bye!